let's begin our in-depth exploration of John Adams, a man who has had a profound and lasting impact on the tapestry of American history. Our journey will traverse various aspects of Adams' life, from his childhood to his pivotal role in the formation of the nation, his presidency, and beyond. Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests, and scholars of history, today we embark on an intellectual voyage, a deep dive into the life and legacy of John Adams, a colossus in the pantheon of American founding fathers. As we unfurl the sails of our exploration, let us first anchor ourselves in the significance of this remarkable individual whose contributions helped forge the very foundation of the United States of America. Introduction to John Adams. John Adams, born on October 30, 1735, in Braintree, Massachusetts, was not just a key architect of American independence but also a visionary who saw beyond the immediate struggles of his time. His life was a testament to the power of ideas, the importance of steadfast principles, and the unyielding pursuit of justice and freedom. As a lawyer, diplomat, political theorist, and, ultimately, the second President of the United States, Adams' influence permeated the crucial early years of the fledgling nation. The significance of John Adams in American history cannot be overstated. His contributions were not merely foundational, they were transformative. Adams was a driving force behind the movement for independence, playing a pivotal role in the drafting and adoption of the Declaration of Independence in 1776. His diplomatic efforts in Europe were instrumental in securing the financial and military support necessary to sustain the American Revolution. Moreover, his vision for a republic governed by laws, not men, laid the groundwork for the Constitution and the democratic principles that continue to guide the United States. Adams' enduring legacy is not just found in the documents he helped to create or the policies he implemented. It is imbued in the spirit of American democracy, in the ideals of liberty, justice, and the rule of law that he championed tirelessly. His writings, from the Massachusetts Constitution to his extensive correspondence with his wife, Abigail Adams, and contemporaries such as Thomas Jefferson, offer profound insights into the challenges and triumphs of the Revolutionary era. They reveal a man of deep intellect, passionate convictions, and an unwavering commitment to the public good. As we proceed with our lecture, let us carry with us the essence of John Adams' character and his unrelenting dedication to the cause of American independence and governance. Through the lens of his life and works, we will explore not only the historical events that shaped the nation but also the enduring principles that continue to inspire and challenge us today. In the words of John Adams himself, liberty cannot be preserved without a general knowledge among the people. So, let us embark on this journey of discovery, armed with the knowledge that in understanding the life of John Adams, we gain not only a window into the past but also insight into the ideals that define and sustain the promise of America. Childhood and early influences. As we delve into the early years of John Adams, we unearth the roots of a man destined to leave an indelible mark on the fabric of American history. Born in the modest New England town of Braintree, Massachusetts, Adams was the product of a Puritan culture that valued education, hard work, and a deep sense of civic duty. These early influences would shape not only the character of the man but also the tenor of his future contributions to American society. John was the eldest of three sons of John Adams Sr., a farmer and deacon in the local church, and Susanna Boylston Adams, a woman of formidable intelligence and resilience. From his parents, Adams inherited a legacy of modesty and public service. His father's role in the community as a deacon and a selectman impressed upon him the importance of contributing to the common good. This grounding in the principles of community service and leadership would later become a hallmark of Adams' public life. Education played a pivotal role in Adams' upbringing. At a young age, he was immersed in the classics, studying Latin and Greek, which sparked an early interest in law and philosophy. His formal education began under the tutelage of Joseph Marsh, a Harvard graduate who prepared Adams for his future academic pursuits. In 1751, at the age of 16, Adams enrolled in Harvard College, where he would further his studies in law, ethics, and theology. It was during these formative years at Harvard that Adams began to cultivate the intellectual prowess and moral philosophy that would guide his legal career and political ideology. Adams' early exposure to the Enlightenment thinkers, such as John Locke and Montesquieu, through his studies at Harvard, profoundly influenced his views on individual rights, governance, and the social contract. These principles became the bedrock of his arguments for American independence and his visions for the fledgling nation. Additionally, the writings of Cicero and the ancient Roman Republic inspired in Adams a deep respect for the virtues of republicanism, including civic virtue and the importance of a balanced government. The young Adams also witnessed the growing tension between the American colonies and Britain, an experience that would sharpen his political sensibilities and commitment to justice. His upbringing in a community that valued debate and public service, combined with the intellectual ferment of the Enlightenment, equipped Adams with a unique blend of practical wisdom and philosophical insight. John Adams' early life, then, was a crucible in which the foundational elements of his character were forged: a commitment to public service, a keen intellect nurtured by classical and Enlightenment thought, and a burgeoning sense of American identity. These elements would guide him as he stepped onto the stage of history, first as a lawyer and public intellectual, and later as a leader in the struggle for American independence. As we trace the arc of Adams' life, these early influences remind us that the seeds of greatness are often sown in the fertile soil of youth, nurtured by the values of family, education, and community. Adams and the American Revolution. The fabric of John Adams' life is deeply woven with the threads of the American Revolution, a period marked by tumultuous change and the fervent quest for independence. As we explore Adams' role in this pivotal era, we uncover the emergence of a leader whose intellectual vigor and unwavering commitment to justice positioned him as a central figure in the fight for American liberty. Early advocacy for colonial rights. John Adams' journey as a revolutionary thinker began long before the first shots were fired at Lexington and Concord. His early career as a lawyer in Massachusetts set the stage for his involvement in the burgeoning resistance against British imperial policies. Adams gained prominence through his eloquent defense of individual rights in opposition to the Stamp Act of 1765, articulating a clear and compelling argument for the legal and moral basis of colonial opposition to taxation without representation. This period was marked by Adams' prolific writing, where he laid out the intellectual and ethical justifications for colonial resistance. His essays and letters, filled with a robust defense of the principles of liberty and justice, circulated widely, earning him a reputation as a principled and passionate advocate for American rights. Role in the Continental Congress. Adams' steadfast advocacy for colonial rights and his growing influence as a leader in Massachusetts propelled him onto the larger stage of the Continental Congress. Elected as a delegate in 1774, he brought to Philadelphia his deep conviction in the righteousness of the colonial cause and a vision for an independent America. Within the Congress, Adams became a forceful voice for separation from Britain, arguing with clarity and conviction for the colonies to take control of their destiny. His contributions during this time were pivotal. Adams was instrumental in steering the Congress towards a Declaration of Independence, working tirelessly to persuade his fellow delegates of the necessity of breaking ties with Britain. He was a part of the committee tasked with drafting the Declaration of Independence, and though Thomas Jefferson penned the document, Adams was a key advisor, providing critical input and championing its adoption. Contributions to the Declaration of Independence. The Declaration of Independence stands as a testament to the ideals of liberty and justice that Adams held dear. His role in its adoption was not just that of a strategist and advocate but also of a visionary who saw beyond the immediate struggle to the creation of a nation founded on the principles of freedom and equality. Adams' contributions to the Declaration and the Revolution were rooted in his deep belief in the rule of law and the rights of individuals, principles he had championed throughout his life. As we reflect on John Adams' contributions to the American Revolution, we see a man whose life was inextricably linked to the birth of a nation. From his early writings that laid the intellectual groundwork for resistance to his leadership in the Continental Congress and his unwavering support for the Declaration of Independence, Adams' legacy is that of a leader whose vision, courage, and principled stand for justice helped to shape the destiny of the United States. His role in the Revolution was not just that of a participant but as one of its most eloquent and forceful architects, a legacy that endures in the fabric of American democracy. Diplomatic missions abroad. John Adams' role in the nascent United States extended far beyond the boundaries of its shores, as he undertook critical diplomatic missions that would secure the young nation's place on the international stage. Adams' foray into diplomacy was marked by his intelligence, tenacity, and a deep commitment to securing the future of the United States through strategic alliances and negotiations. Efforts in France and the Netherlands. Adams' first major diplomatic mission took him to France in 1778, alongside Benjamin Franklin and Arthur Lee, with the goal of securing French support for the American Revolutionary War. While Franklin's charm and political acumen were well suited to the French court, Adams' straightforwardness and focus on the practicalities of military and financial support were instrumental in securing the vital French alliance in 1778. This alliance brought crucial military assistance and funding to the American cause, marking a turning point in the Revolutionary War. However, Adams' diplomatic efforts were not confined to France. Recognizing the need for financial stability and additional alliances, Adams was dispatched to the Netherlands in 1780. His mission was fraught with challenges, including initial Dutch reluctance to support the American cause and British attempts to undermine his efforts. Despite these obstacles, Adams' perseverance and diplomatic skill led to significant achievements. In 1782, he successfully negotiated the Treaty of Amity and Commerce with the Netherlands, securing a crucial loan and formal recognition of the United States. This not only bolstered the American war effort but also marked an important step in establishing the United States as a sovereign entity in the eyes of the European powers. Negotiations for the Treaty of Paris. Perhaps Adams' most significant diplomatic achievement was his participation in the negotiations for the Treaty of Paris in 1783, which formally ended the Revolutionary War. Alongside Benjamin Franklin and John Jay, Adams navigated the complex web of European politics to secure favorable terms for the United States. The treaty recognized American independence and granted the United States significant territorial concessions from the British, laying the groundwork for westward expansion. Adams' diplomatic missions abroad were characterized by his unwavering dedication to the American cause, his skill in negotiation, and his ability to navigate the intricacies of European politics. His efforts were instrumental in securing the military and financial support necessary for the success of the American Revolution and in establishing the United States as a sovereign nation in the international community. Through his work in France, the Netherlands, and Britain, John Adams demonstrated not only the importance of diplomacy in achieving national goals but also the power of perseverance, intelligence, and a deep commitment to one's country. His diplomatic achievements are a testament to his vision for the United States and his indispensable role in securing its place on the world stage. The Vice Presidency. In the annals of American history, John Adams occupies a unique position as the first Vice President and the second President of the United States. However, it is his tenure as Vice President under George Washington from 1789 to 1797 that offers a fascinating glimpse into the evolving dynamics of the young republic and the challenges of defining a new role within the untested framework of American government. The dynamics with George Washington. John Adams and George Washington, though united in their dedication to the fledgling nation, represented differing facets of its emerging political landscape. Washington, as the unanimous choice for president, embodied the unity and military valor that had guided the colonies to independence. Adams, on the other hand, was a figure of intellectual rigor and political foresight, whose ideas often sparked debate and reflection within the nascent government. As Vice President, Adams found himself in a position of both significance and limitation. The Constitution provided little guidance on the role of the Vice President, other than to preside over the Senate and to step in for the President if necessary. Adams approached his duties with a sense of gravitas and commitment, presiding over the Senate with a keen understanding of parliamentary procedure. However, he often expressed frustration at the largely ceremonial nature of his position, famously lamenting it as the most insignificant office that ever the invention of man contrived or his imagination conceived. Despite these frustrations, Adams played a crucial role in the early government, casting more tie-breaking votes in the Senate than any vice president in American history. His decisions helped shape the legislative agenda of the Washington administration and underscored the political balancing act of the era. Furthermore, Adams was a key advocate for the principles that would define the executive branch, emphasizing the need for a strong, centralized government capable of guiding the nation through its formative years. Key contributions and challenges. Adams' tenure as vice president was marked by his profound contributions to the ideological and structural foundations of the American government. He was instrumental in the development and interpretation of the Constitution, advocating for a balance of power that would prevent tyranny while ensuring effective governance. His extensive writings during this period, including his letters and the seminal Defense of the Constitutions of Government of the United States of America, provided a blueprint for American constitutionalism and republicanism. However, Adams' vice presidency was not without its challenges. The emerging partisan divide, particularly between the Federalists and the Democratic Republicans, placed Adams in a difficult position. As a staunch Federalist, he often found himself at odds with the Democratic-Republican vision for America, leading to tensions within the administration and with political figures such as Thomas Jefferson. John Adams' vice presidency, then, was a period of significant contribution and complex challenges. It was a time when the contours of the American government were still being defined, and Adams' intellectual and political acumen left an indelible mark on the vice presidency and the executive branch. Despite the limitations of his office, Adams' commitment to the principles of governance and his role in shaping the early republic underscore his critical role in the foundation of the United States. The presidency of John Adams. John Adams' ascent to the presidency in 1797 marked a critical juncture in the early years of the American Republic. As the second president of the United States, Adams inherited a nation teeming with both promise and peril. His presidency, lasting from 1797 to 1801, was a period characterized by significant foreign challenges and intense domestic political division. Election and key policies. Adams' election to the presidency came at a time of profound political transformation. The election of 1796 was the first contested presidential election in American history, reflecting the burgeoning partisan divide between the Federalists and the Democratic Republicans. Adams, a Federalist, won a narrow victory over Thomas Jefferson, a Democratic Republican, who then became vice president according to the electoral rules of the time. This marked the beginning of Adams' presidency under the shadow of a divided government and nation. One of the key policies of Adams' administration was his approach to foreign affairs, particularly relations with France. The backdrop was the Quasi-War, an undeclared naval conflict between the United States and France, fueled by the French Revolution and the Jay Treaty between the United States and Great Britain. Adams pursued a policy of cautious diplomacy, balancing between the Federalist desire for a stronger relationship with Britain and the Democratic Republican sympathy towards revolutionary France. The XYZ Affair and the Quasi-War with France. The XYZ Affair was a significant diplomatic incident that defined Adams' presidency. In an attempt to resolve tensions with France, Adams sent envoys to Paris in 1797. However, the French foreign minister, Talleyrand, demanded bribes and loans as a precondition for negotiation. The American public's reaction to this demand, when made public by Adams, was one of outrage, encapsulated in the slogan "Millions for Defense, but not 1 cent for tribute." The affair significantly escalated tensions between the United States and France, leading to an undeclared naval war that tested Adams' leadership and resolve. Alien and Sedition Acts. Domestically, Adams' presidency was marked by the enactment of the Alien and Sedition Acts in 1798. These 4 laws increased the residency requirement for American citizenship, authorized the president to detain or deport non-citizens deemed dangerous, and restricted speech critical of the government. While Adams and his Federalist allies argued that these measures were necessary for national security amid the Quasi-War, they were widely criticized as violations of the First Amendment and were seen as tools to suppress political opposition, particularly from the Democratic Republicans. The Alien and Sedition Acts became one of the most controversial aspects of Adams' presidency, contributing to his defeat in the election of 1800. They highlighted the intense political divisions of the era and posed profound questions about the balance between security and civil liberties, questions that resonate in American political discourse to this day. Conclusion. John Adams' presidency was a complex period of American history, marked by significant achievements and profound challenges. His leadership during the Quasi-War with France demonstrated a commitment to diplomatic solutions and a reluctance to engage in unnecessary conflict, reflecting his deep belief in the importance of peace for the young republic. However, the domestic policies of his administration, particularly the Alien and Sedition Acts, reveal the struggles of a nation trying to define its identity and principles in a turbulent time. Adams' presidency, with all its complexities and contradictions, offers valuable insights into the early challenges of American democracy and the enduring questions of governance, liberty, and security. Adams' views on government and politics. John Adams, a seminal figure in the formation of the United States, held nuanced and profoundly influential views on government and politics. His perspectives were not only pivotal in the foundational years of American democracy but also offer enduring insights into the nature of governance and the responsibilities of citizens and leaders alike. As we explore Adams' political philosophy, it becomes evident that his ideas were both a product of his time and a blueprint for future generations. Federalism versus Republicanism. Adams was a staunch advocate for a strong, centralized federal government, a stance that often placed him at odds with contemporaries who favored more localized control. His time in Europe as a diplomat deeply influenced his views. Witnessing the effects of fragmented authority and weak central governance solidified his belief in the necessity of a robust federal system. However, Adams' federalism did not imply an unchecked national authority. He was acutely aware of the dangers of tyranny and advocated for a balanced system of checks and balances to prevent any one branch of government from becoming too powerful. His political philosophy also embraced elements of republicanism, emphasizing the importance of civic virtue and public-mindedness among citizens and their representatives. Adams believed in a representative democracy where leaders were chosen for their merit, wisdom, and commitment to the public good. He feared the potential for demagoguery and mob rule, concerns that led him to advocate for a bicameral legislature and a strong executive branch as means of balancing the passions of the masses with reasoned governance. Correspondence and debates with Thomas Jefferson. The relationship between John Adams and Thomas Jefferson is one of the most fascinating aspects of early American political history. Initially close allies in the fight for independence, their paths diverged over their differing visions for the newly formed nation. Adams and Jefferson engaged in a prolific correspondence that spanned decades, debating the nature of liberty, governance, and the future of America. These letters serve as a remarkable record of intellectual exchange and reflect the evolving political landscape of the United States. Their debates touched on the role of government, the rights of individuals, the importance of education in a republic, and the dangers of factionalism. Despite their differences, both men shared a deep commitment to the American experiment and a belief in the potential of the Republic to embody ideals of freedom and equality. Their reconciliation later in life and their deaths on July 4, 1826, exactly 50 years after the Declaration of Independence, symbolized the enduring impact of their contributions to American political thought. Contributions to American political thought. Adams' contributions to American political thought are vast and varied. His writings, including A Defense of the Constitutions of Government of the United States of America and Thoughts on Government, articulate a vision of balanced governance that protects individual freedoms while ensuring the stability and effectiveness of the state. Adams argued for the necessity of a mixed government model, combining elements of democracy, aristocracy, and monarchy, as the best means of preserving liberty and preventing tyranny. His insights into human nature, power, and governance continue to resonate in contemporary debates on democracy and authority. Adams' legacy in American political thought is characterized by his unwavering commitment to a government that serves the public interest, balances power through institutional checks and balances, and fosters a sense of common good among its citizens. In examining John Adams' views on government and politics, we encounter a thinker deeply engaged with the fundamental questions of his time and ours. His reflections on the nature of democracy, the responsibilities of leadership, and the rights of citizens offer enduring wisdom for those who seek to understand the principles underlying American governance and the ongoing effort to realize the ideals of liberty and justice for all. Personal life and family. John Adams' personal life and family dynamics played a significant role in shaping the man he became, both as a leader and as a thinker. Beyond the public persona of a founding father and statesman, Adams was a devoted husband, father, and grandfather, whose family relationships profoundly influenced his views and actions. Delving into his personal life offers a more nuanced understanding of his character, beliefs, and motivations. Relationship with Abigail Adams. One of the most defining aspects of John Adams' personal life was his relationship with his wife, Abigail Adams. Their partnership was not only a deeply loving and supportive one but also intellectually vibrant and politically astute. Abigail was John's confidant, advisor, and, at times, his political sounding board, providing counsel during some of the most turbulent periods in American history. The extensive correspondence between John and Abigail remains one of the most remarkable exchanges in American historical archives, offering insights into their mutual respect, affection, and shared commitment to the country's founding principles. Abigail's letters to John are notable for their keen observations on political events and social issues, as well as for their encouragement and guidance. She was a formidable intellect in her own right, advocating for women's rights and education at a time when such views were far from commonplace. The Adams family legacy. The legacy of John Adams extends beyond his immediate contributions to the American Revolution and governance through his descendants, who continued to play significant roles in American political and intellectual life. His son, John Quincy Adams, followed in his footsteps to become the 6th President of the United States, further cementing the Adams family's place in the annals of American history. John and Abigail's other children also led notable lives, albeit with their own challenges and achievements. Their families' experiences reflect the complexities of American life in the post-revolutionary period, dealing with issues ranging from political rivalry to personal tragedy. Family life and legacy. John Adams' family life was marked by both joy and sorrow. He and Abigail faced the heartache of losing children to early death and the challenges of long periods of separation due to John's diplomatic and political duties. Yet, their unwavering support for each other and their shared dedication to their family's welfare and education remained constant. The legacy of John Adams, as seen through his family, is one of intellectual curiosity, public service, and a profound commitment to the principles of democracy and liberty. The Adams family's contributions to American public life, spanning generations, underscore the enduring impact of their collective dedication to the country's founding ideals. In exploring John Adams' personal life and family, we gain insight into the man behind the public figure, a devoted husband and father, whose personal experiences deeply informed his views on governance, justice, and the role of family in American society. His life reminds us that the personal and the political are often intertwined, with family relationships shaping and reflecting the broader narratives of history and national identity. Post-presidency years. After his defeat in the presidential election of 1800, John Adams retreated from the political spotlight, embarking on a period of personal reflection and continued intellectual engagement that would last until his death on July 4, 1826. This final chapter of Adams' life is marked by a return to his roots in Quincy, Massachusetts, and by contributions that, though quieter, remain significant to the American fabric. Retirement from public life. Adams' return to Quincy was not merely a retreat but a continuation of his lifelong pursuit of knowledge and his dedication to the Republic's principles. In these years, Adams devoted himself to his correspondence, farming, and family, enjoying the roles of patriarch and sage. Despite his withdrawal from active politics, Adams remained a keen observer of the nation's progress and challenges, offering insights and advice through his extensive letters and writings. His post-presidency years allowed Adams more time for reflection on his extensive public service and the early years of the nation he helped found. It was during this period that Adams penned much of his correspondence with Thomas Jefferson, a remarkable exchange that bridged political divides and offered profound reflections on democracy, governance, and the legacy of the Revolution. Reconciliation with Thomas Jefferson. One of the most remarkable aspects of Adams' later years was his reconciliation with Jefferson. Their relationship had been strained by political rivalry and ideological differences during their active political careers. However, in 1812, at the urging of mutual friend Dr. Benjamin Rush, Adams and Jefferson renewed their friendship through letters that would continue for the rest of their lives. This correspondence, which encompassed a wide range of topics, including philosophy, governance, and personal matters, is celebrated for its depth of insight and the mutual respect it revealed between the two statesmen. This exchange not only mended a fractured friendship but also symbolized the potential for unity and respect amidst political differences. Their letters serve as a testament to the enduring strength of the principles upon which the United States was founded and the importance of dialogue and reconciliation. Reflections on Independence and Democracy. Adams' reflections in his later years often centered on the themes of independence, democracy, and the future of the Republic. He remained deeply invested in the American experiment's success, warning against the dangers of partisanship and emphasizing the importance of education in maintaining the Republic. Adams believed strongly in the rule of law and the necessity of a virtuous and informed citizenry for the survival of democratic institutions. His insights during this period contribute significantly to our understanding of the Founding Fathers' vision and the challenges they foresaw for future generations. Adams' musings on the nature of democracy, the balance of power, and the role of civic responsibility continue to resonate, offering valuable lessons for contemporary America. Legacy and Death. John Adams' death on July 4, 1826, exactly 50 years after the Declaration of Independence, was a symbolic bookend to the life of a man who had given so much to the nation's founding. His passing, on the same day as Thomas Jefferson's, underscored the intertwined legacies of these two giants of American history. In his post-presidency years, Adams left a legacy of intellectual rigor, principled leadership, and a deep commitment to the ideals of liberty and democracy. His writings and correspondence from this period enrich our understanding of the foundational values of the United States and the enduring challenges of governing a diverse and dynamic republic. Exploring Adams' post-presidency years provides a fuller picture of a man who was not only a pivotal figure in the American Revolution and early federal government but also a thoughtful observer of the human condition and the complexities of democratic governance. His contributions during this time solidified his legacy as a statesman, thinker, and patriot whose ideas and principles continue to shape the American discourse. John Adams' legacy and modern relevance. The legacy of John Adams, the second President of the United States, stretches far beyond his lifetime, continuing to influence the American political landscape and public consciousness. As we assess his contributions and their impact on modern America, we find a multifaceted legacy that encompasses his role as a founding father, his writings and political philosophy, and his unwavering commitment to the principles of justice, governance, and independence. Influence on American legal and political institutions. John Adams played a pivotal role in shaping the foundational structures and principles of the United States. His advocacy for a balanced government, characterized by a separation of powers and checks and balances, is reflected in the Constitution and remains a cornerstone of American democracy. Adams' efforts to establish a stable and fair legal system, seen in his work as a lawyer and his contributions to the Massachusetts Constitution, have had a lasting impact on American legal thought and practice. Furthermore, Adams' presidency set important precedents for the executive branch's role and responsibilities, including the conduct of foreign relations and the enforcement of federal laws. His administration navigated the challenges of partisanship, foreign conflicts, and internal dissent, experiences that have offered valuable lessons for his successors. Representation in literature and popular culture. John Adams' complex personality, significant achievements, and contributions to American independence have captured the imagination of historians, authors, and filmmakers. His life and legacy have been explored in various works, most notably in David McCullough's Pulitzer Prize-winning biography, John Adams, which inspired the popular HBO miniseries of the same name. These portrayals have contributed to a resurgence of interest in Adams' life and work, offering nuanced insights into his character, his relationship with figures like Abigail Adams and Thomas Jefferson, and his pivotal role in American history. Modern relevance of Adams' ideas. Adams' writings and ideas retain profound relevance in contemporary discussions on governance, rights, and the nature of democracy. His insights into the challenges of balancing power within a government, the importance of a virtuous and educated citizenry, and the dangers of unchecked authority resonate in today's political climate. Adams' advocacy for judicial independence, the rule of law, and the protection of individual rights continues to inform debates on civil liberties and government overreach. Moreover, Adams' reflections on the responsibilities of citizenship and the importance of civic engagement speak to current discussions on voter participation, political accountability, and the role of public discourse in a healthy democracy. His belief in the need for moral leadership and ethical governance remains a compelling call to action for leaders and citizens alike. Conclusion. John Adams' legacy is that of a visionary leader whose contributions laid the foundation for the American Republic and whose ideas continue to inspire and challenge us. His life's work underscores the importance of dedication to public service, the pursuit of justice, and the unwavering defense of democratic principles. As we navigate the complexities of the 21st century, the lessons from Adams' life and writings offer valuable guidance on governance, liberty, and the enduring quest for a more perfect union. In reflecting on Adams' legacy, we are reminded of the continuous effort required to nurture and preserve the ideals upon which the United States was founded. Famous quotes by John Adams and their meanings. John Adams, a man of profound intellect and passionate convictions, left behind a treasure trove of quotes that encapsulate his views on governance, liberty, and human nature. These utterances, steeped in the context of America's founding and the broader Enlightenment era, continue to resonate for their depth of wisdom and insight into the principles of democracy and personal responsibility. Let's explore some of Adams' most famous quotes and unpack their meanings in the context of his life and legacy. Liberty cannot be preserved without a general knowledge among the people. This quote underscores Adams' firm belief in the necessity of education and informed citizenry for the maintenance and preservation of freedom. Adams understood that the health of a republic depended not just on the structure of its government but on the virtues and knowledge of its people. He advocated for widespread education as a means to equip citizens with the tools to safeguard their rights and participate meaningfully in the democratic process. Government is instituted for the common good, for the protection, safety, prosperity, and happiness of the people, and not for profit, honor, or private interest of any one man, family, or class of men. Here, Adams articulates his vision of government as a servant to the public interest, emphasizing the principles of equity and common welfare that should underpin governance. This quote reflects his commitment to a balanced government that serves all segments of society and his rejection of tyranny and despotism, whether by a monarch or a majority. Facts are stubborn things, and whatever may be our wishes, our inclinations, or the dictates of our passion, they cannot alter the state of facts and evidence. Adams made this statement during his defense of British soldiers in the aftermath of the Boston Massacre, showcasing his dedication to justice and the rule of law. This quote highlights the importance of reason, evidence, and objectivity in public discourse and legal proceedings. Adams' insistence on the primacy of facts over bias or partisanship remains a critical reminder of the foundations upon which fair and just societies are built. To be good, and to do good, is all we have to do. With this simple yet profound declaration, Adams encapsulates his ethical philosophy, one centered on virtue, personal responsibility, and the inherent value of goodness. This quote speaks to his belief in the moral obligations of individuals to contribute positively to their communities and to conduct themselves with integrity and benevolence. Power always thinks it has a great soul and vast views beyond the comprehension of the weak. This observation on the nature of power reflects Adams' wariness of tyranny and his advocacy for checks and balances within government. By highlighting the tendency of those in power to justify their actions through a belief in their own superiority, Adams warns against the dangers of unchecked authority and the importance of constant vigilance by the governed to protect their freedoms. John Adams' quotes offer a window into the mind of a leader who grappled with the fundamental questions of his time and whose answers continue to inspire and challenge us. Through his words, we gain insights into the enduring principles of democracy, the responsibilities of citizenship, and the unending quest for justice and liberty. Adams' legacy, encapsulated in his eloquent expressions, remains a beacon for all who value freedom and the rule of law. John Adams in historical memory. John Adams' place in historical memory is a complex tapestry woven from his contributions as a founding father, his presidency, and the values and principles he espoused. Over the centuries, Adams' legacy has been revisited and reassessed, reflecting the evolving understanding of American history and the shifting priorities of its collective memory. The evolution of Adams' reputation over time. Initially, Adams was celebrated for his role in the American Revolution and his work in drafting foundational documents like the Declaration of Independence. However, his reputation underwent periods of eclipse, particularly due to the controversies of his presidency, such as the Alien and Sedition Acts, which were seen by many as antithetical to American values of free speech and liberty. In the 19th and early 20th centuries, Adams was often overshadowed by figures like Thomas Jefferson and George Washington, whose legacies seemed more in line with the burgeoning narrative of American exceptionalism and democracy. Adams' Federalist views and his warnings about the dangers of unchecked democracy were out of step with the prevailing sentiments of an expanding and increasingly democratic nation. Contemporary appreciation of his contributions. The late 20th and early 21st centuries have seen a resurgence in the appreciation for John Adams, driven in part by a deeper historical analysis and a broader understanding of the complexities of the founding period. Scholars and biographers have highlighted Adams' intellectual depth, his commitment to the rule of law, and his foresight in matters of governance. This period has seen Adams being celebrated not just as a revolutionary leader but as a thoughtful, if sometimes flawed, advocate for a balanced and just republic. This renewed interest has also been fueled by popular culture, with works like David McCullough's biography John Adams and the subsequent HBO miniseries introducing his life and legacy to a wider audience. These portrayals have emphasized his integrity, his complex relationship with Abigail Adams, and his pivotal role in the nation's founding, contributing to a more nuanced and sympathetic view of Adams in the public eye. Adams' enduring legacy in American thought. John Adams' contributions to American political thought, particularly his writings on constitutional governance, the importance of checks and balances, and the role of civic virtue, have gained renewed relevance in contemporary debates on democracy and governance. His insights into the nature of power, the dangers of factionalism, and the moral responsibilities of citizens and leaders continue to resonate, offering valuable lessons for the present. Moreover, Adams' advocacy for education and informed citizenry as pillars of a free society underscores ongoing discussions about the role of education in democracy. His belief in the necessity of a well-informed electorate to preserve liberty and justice speaks to current concerns about misinformation, civic engagement, and the health of democratic institutions. Conclusion. John Adams' place in historical memory is that of a multifaceted leader whose contributions extend beyond the founding of the nation to encompass a vision of governance and civic responsibility that remains relevant. As we continue to grapple with the challenges of maintaining a just and democratic society, Adams' legacy offers a rich source of wisdom and guidance. His journey from a leading voice for independence to a reflective post-presidential figure reminds us of the enduring impact of thoughtful leadership and the importance of principled governance in the quest to fulfill the promise of America. The lessons of John Adams' life. The life of John Adams, steeped in the tumult and triumphs of America's founding, offers a wealth of lessons on leadership, resilience, and the enduring struggle for justice and democracy. Reflecting on Adams' experiences and contributions provides valuable insights for navigating the complexities of contemporary life and governance. Leadership and integrity. John Adams' leadership was characterized by a steadfast commitment to principle over popularity. His willingness to defend British soldiers after the Boston Massacre, despite personal and political risk, exemplifies his dedication to justice and the rule of law. This act, along with his tireless work during the Continental Congress and as president, underscores the importance of integrity and courage in leadership. Adams teaches us that true leadership often requires making difficult, unpopular decisions in service of a greater good. The value of education and intellectual curiosity. Adams was a lifelong advocate for education, believing it essential for the maintenance of a free society. His own intellectual curiosity and broad range of interests, from political philosophy to science, highlight the importance of a well-rounded education. Adams' life reminds us that an informed and educated populace is the cornerstone of democracy, empowering citizens to participate fully in the governance of their society. The importance of diplomacy and vision in governance. Adams' diplomatic missions to Europe were critical in securing support for the American Revolution and establishing the United States on the world stage. His efforts demonstrate the importance of diplomacy, strategic vision, and the ability to navigate complex international landscapes. Adams' work as a diplomat underscores the value of building alliances and understanding global dynamics in achieving national objectives. Balancing power with liberty. A central theme of Adams' political thought was the need to balance the powers of government with the liberties of individuals. His advocacy for a system of checks and balances within the U.S. government illustrates his deep understanding of the dangers of tyranny. Adams' presidency and writings offer profound insights into the mechanisms of governance that can protect freedoms while ensuring order and justice. Resilience in the face of adversity. Adams faced numerous challenges throughout his life, from personal losses to political defeats. His ability to persevere in the face of adversity, maintaining his commitment to his principles and his country, is a testament to his resilience. Adams' example encourages us to face challenges with determination and to remain steadfast in our values and goals, even when confronted with setbacks. The significance of legacy and reflection. In his later years, Adams engaged in extensive correspondence and reflection, contemplating the successes and failures of his life and career. These reflections, especially his letters with Thomas Jefferson, reveal a man deeply concerned with the legacy of the founding generation and the future of the republic they helped create. Adams' focus on legacy and reflection highlights the importance of considering the long-term impact of our actions and the value of reconciliation and dialogue. Conclusion. The lessons of John Adams' life resonate deeply in the present day, offering guidance on leadership, the importance of education, the art of diplomacy, the balance between power and liberty, the necessity of resilience, and the value of legacy. As we navigate the challenges of our own time, Adams' experiences and insights serve as a beacon, reminding us of the enduring principles that can guide us toward a more just, informed, and democratic society. Conclusion. The eternal flame of greatness. As we conclude our exploration of the life and legacy of John Adams, we are reminded of the enduring flame of greatness that he embodies, a flame characterized by unwavering dedication to principle, profound intellectual vigor, and a deep-seated commitment to the welfare of his country. Adams' journey from a young lawyer in Massachusetts to a founding father and the second President of the United States encapsulates the essence of American resilience and the spirit of democratic governance. Summary of key points. Advocate for independence. John Adams emerged as a fervent advocate for American independence, playing a pivotal role in the drafting of the Declaration of Independence and championing the cause of liberty throughout his career. Diplomatic achievements. His diplomatic missions abroad, particularly in France and the Netherlands, were instrumental in securing vital support for the American Revolution, showcasing his strategic acumen and commitment to American sovereignty. Presidential legacy. As president, Adams navigated the young nation through turbulent times, including the Quasi-War with France, while upholding the principles of federalism and advocating for a balanced government. Philosopher and thinker, Adams' writings on government, politics, and human nature contributed significantly to American political thought, emphasizing the importance of education, the rule of law, and civic virtue. Reflections on the importance of studying Adams today. Studying John Adams today illuminates the complexities of America's founding era, providing insights into the challenges and triumphs of establishing a new nation. His life story is a testament to the power of conviction and the importance of standing firm in one's beliefs, even in the face of adversity. Adams' contributions to American political philosophy, particularly his thoughts on governance, liberty, and justice, remain profoundly relevant in contemporary discussions about democracy and civic responsibility. Moreover, Adams' personal integrity, his dedication to public service, and his vision for America continue to inspire current and future generations. His belief in the necessity of an educated and engaged citizenry echoes as a call to action, urging us to participate actively in the democratic process and to safeguard the liberties and rights for which he and his contemporaries fought. The eternal flame of greatness. The legacy of John Adams is akin to an eternal flame, a beacon that continues to guide us through its illumination of fundamental democratic principles and values. His life's work underscores the ongoing struggle to balance freedom with governance, individual rights with collective responsibility, and ambition with principle. As we face the challenges of our own time, Adams' example offers wisdom and perspective, reminding us of the enduring importance of leadership, integrity, and the unwavering pursuit of the common good. In reflecting on the life of John Adams, we are encouraged to carry forward the flame of greatness by embodying the ideals he championed, a commitment to justice, a dedication to learning, and an unyielding devotion to the principles of democracy. Through our actions and aspirations, we honor Adams' legacy, contributing to the ever-evolving story of the American Republic and its promise of liberty and justice for all. Concluding the lecture. As we draw the curtains on our exploration of John Adams' life and legacy, let us not merely walk away with a deeper understanding of a founding father's contributions to the fabric of American democracy. Instead, let's take with us a timeless lesson from Adams' life that can illuminate our paths and enrich our lives. John Adams, amidst the grandeur of his achievements and the trials of his times, upheld a principle that is as simple as it is profound: the power of steadfastness in one's convictions combined with the humility to learn and grow. In a world brimming with change and challenges, Adams' life reminds us of the importance of holding fast to our principles while remaining open to understanding and engaging with perspectives that differ from our own. Let Adams inspire you to live with conviction, to stand firm in your beliefs and values, even when faced with opposition or adversity. But equally, let his life remind you of the value of openness, of the courage it takes to listen, to learn, and, sometimes, to change your mind. This balance is not a sign of weakness but of profound strength and wisdom. Adams was a voracious learner, his life a testament to the belief that education and intellectual curiosity are not merely pathways to wisdom but foundations of a vibrant, democratic society. Carry forward this passion for learning. Let curiosity be your compass, leading you to new ideas, new conversations, and new understandings about the world and your place within it. Adams believed in the power of individuals to effect change and the responsibility of citizens to contribute to the public good. Find ways, big or small, to contribute to your community. Whether through public service, volunteering, or simply lending a helping hand to a neighbor, your actions can weave together the social fabric that holds us all. Finally, remember the strength Adams drew from his relationships, particularly with his wife, Abigail. Their partnership was not just a personal bond but a mutual engagement with the world of ideas and the tumultuous times they lived in. Cherish the relationships that sustain you, offer support in challenge, and cultivate connections that foster growth, understanding, and compassion. In the end, living a meaningful life, much like the life John Adams led, is about embracing the dualities of conviction and openness, engagement and reflection, individuality and community. As we navigate our own times, may we carry forward the flame of greatness, not just in monumental achievements, but in the everyday acts of courage, kindness, and commitment to the greater good. This, perhaps, is the most enduring legacy we can aspire to, inspired by the life of John Adams.